Welcome to Inside Business. Today we're going to enterprise. So when I talk about enterprise, an enterprise is simply the office of an entrepreneur. So let's go further. Enterprise. Enterprise is when an individual or group of people take a risk and decide to start something new. For example, a person is enterprising when they start a new hobby, such as learning to play the guitar. An entrepreneur. Now, before going to an entrepreneur, enterprise is simply you coming up, you making a decision to start something. That's what an enterprise is. And who is that individual who will come up with this business idea or to start up something? That individual is called an entrepreneur. So who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who spots a gap in the market and comes up with an idea that they can turn into a business in order to fill the gap. So we call them entrepreneur because they did the market research, they understand that there's a gap in the market, they understand that there are needs or wants of customers in the market, and they will make a business out of it. So they understand that they figure out that customers are lacking certain goods or services. They figure it out, they make it happen and start making money out of it. That is what an entrepreneur is. So why do people become entrepreneur? People become entrepreneur for numbers of reasons, one including being your own boss. So many entrepreneurs do not want to take orders from other people. They want to be their own boss. They want to be the one making decisions. As a result of that, excuse me, please. Why do people become entrepreneurs? People become entrepreneurs because one, they want to be their own boss. So be your own boss. Many entrepreneurs do not want to take orders from other people. I want to be their own boss. They get to make all decisions on behalf of the business. Example, given location and opening hours. Some people choose to become entrepreneur because they want to make decisions. They want to, so whatever decision that comes through the business, they want to be the one that make the decision. And for you to make decisions about the business, it means you have to start up your own business. That's one of the reasons why people might choose to become an entrepreneur. Two, varied work day. They like the different types of work associated with being an entrepreneur. These are varied as the entrepreneur might have to. For example, meet with customers and prepare a marketing campaign. Another reason why people might choose to become an entrepreneur is because they want to have interaction with different stakeholders. And for you to have interaction with different stakeholders, it means you have to be an entrepreneur. You can't be an employee and have interaction with different stakeholders. As an employee, you might have interaction with internal stakeholders like your colleagues or the clients or customers. Those are the ones you can have communication with or interaction with. But for you to have interaction with government, stakeholders, shareholders, suppliers, banks, and the rest, it means you need to have your own business. So that's another reason why people might choose to become an entrepreneur. The third one, unemployment. So the third one, sorry about that, unemployment. Someone who can't find work nights might become an entrepreneur out of necessity. Some people become an entrepreneur because they couldn't get employed. They couldn't secure a job. So instead of them, being idle, they use their skills. For example, they use their skills or craft to start a business. So then the business might become successful. So some people some people become an entrepreneur because they couldn't get employed. And lastly, more money. Many entrepreneurs believe that they can earn more money by owning their own business rather than working for others. For one to become wealthy, it means you need to start up your own business. One can never be richer than their employee. An employee can never be richer than his or her employer. So for you to be richer, it means you need to start thinking about having your own business. So these are the reasons why people might choose to become an entrepreneur. So that takes us to enterprise in daily life. Many people assume that enterprise is only found in business. However, it can also be found in areas of life, including the home, school, a new business, a government department, and the local community. So examples of enterprise in daily lives are one, enterprise in the home. A parent enrolls on a course, e.g. to learn German. So that's also an enterprise because you have made a decision to start learning a craft. That's an enterprise. A teenager offers piano lessons to local students for a fee. A student, a teenager, making understanding that there's need for piano lessons within the environment, and he or she starts enrolling students for that for a certain amount of money. That's an enterprise. Enterprise is cool. A group of students organize a charity event, a table quiz. So that's also an enterprise, but we will call it a social enterprise. Then we have enterprise in a new business. An entrepreneur spots a gap in the market for homemade ice cream and sets up an ice cream shop in a busy shopping center. That's an enterprise because you figure out that there's a need for ice cream and it's making it happen. So that's an enterprise. An entrepreneur opens a suit shop in the business district to provide office wear to professionals. That's also an enterprise because the entrepreneur figure out that there's need for professional wears at at a district, as a business district, and he or she makes it available there. So these are ways in which enterprise can happen in our daily lives. Then we have enterprise in the government departments. The Department of Health launched the Healthy Ireland program to improve the health and well-being of people in Ireland. That's also an enterprise because it simply means that government can also set up an enterprise. And they made the example of using the health, the government departments here, which launched a healthy program to improve health and well-being of people. That's also an enterprise. Local enterprise office, LEOs, have been set up to support and encourage entrepreneurship and employment in local areas. The LEOs can be set up to finance small and medium-sized enterprises within the society. Enterprise in the local community. A group of local communities set up a tiny town committee to improve the appearance of the local area and make it a better place to work, visit, and live. A group of local people establish a Meals on Wheels service for elderly people in their areas. So these are sort of enterprise, and in as much as people are exchanging idea for money or for service, simply means enterprise is taking place. So that takes us to social enterprise. A social enterprise or not-for-profit enterprise has a social or environment aim. Example given to reduce poverty or to protect the environment. It is run like a business and profits are used to benefit the cause rather than the owners. We call them social enterprise because their aim is to ensure that the society becomes a better place. So whatever they do, whatever profit they make, they put it back into the organization rather than giving it to the owners of the business. So that takes us to the characteristics of an entrepreneur. The first characteristic of an entrepreneur is decision making. Now, when we talk about decision making, we're talking about being able to take, to make the right decision at the right time. So an entrepreneur makes quick and clear decisions. They weigh up the pros and cons of a situation and choose the best option for the business. The entrepreneur takes full responsibility for all their decisions. So as an entrepreneur, one of the characteristics you should have is about making clear decisions. And whatever decision you make as an entrepreneur, you must take responsibility, either good or bad. So as an entrepreneur, you must be able to make clear and quick decisions. And before you make the decisions, you have to check the benefit and the cost of making such a decision. The second one, risk taking. As entrepreneurs take financial and personal risk and view failure as a learning experience. They ensure they take a calculated risk. In essence, a risk where there is a reasonable chance of success. For entrepreneurs, another characteristic of an entrepreneur is being a risk taker. As a risk taker, you must be able to make a calculated risk. And when we talk about calculated risk, we're talking about risks that have a reasonable chance of becoming successful. That is the kind of risk entrepreneurs should take. The third one, determination. Entrepreneurs are determined to find a way of solving problems. They do not give up easily when they are faced with obstacles or failures. As an entrepreneur, you should have the determination to succeed. So irrespective of the obstacle or the setback that you might face in the course of setting up a business, you must not give up. Entrepreneurs do not give up. So they see success rather than obstacles. The next one is self-motivation. Entrepreneurs are motivated from within to succeed. They have the personal drive and ambition to achieve their goals. For entrepreneurs, they are self-motivated because they have that personal, courage to succeed. They want to succeed with every opportunity they have. They want to succeed. They want to see their business grow. They want to achieve their objectives. That is motivation for them. Then the next one is self-confidence. Entrepreneurs believe in themselves and their idea. They are not put off by other people's opinion. Entrepreneurs do not care about what people say about their business, what people say, or what people might think about what they do. They are just focused on, making sure that they get the best out of their business. So they are not driven by people's opinion. They don't care about people's opinion, and that is self-confidence. And the last one, creativity. Entrepreneurs think outside the box and come up with new ideas and new ways of doing things. As entrepreneurs, they are innovative. They come up with a new idea, they come up with a new business idea, and they want to make money out of it. So they try to create new products, they try to create new services to ensure that they're able to keep their customers and make them happy. So that takes us to the skills of an entrepreneur. So go to the skills of an entrepreneur. When we talk about skills, we are simply talking about the ability of an individual to perform a particular task well. So for an entrepreneur to be successful, he or she must possess these skills. The first one, decision making. Enterprising people make quick, clear decisions. They weigh up the pros and cons of a situation and make decisions that brings the greatest benefit. They take full responsibility for all decision making and do not blame others for their own decision making. So as an entrepreneur, the first skill you need to possess is the decision making skill, which simply means that you must be able to make a swift and clear, precise decision. And whatever happens with the decision you make, you must not push it or shift it to anybody. So it is your sole responsibility as an entrepreneur. Two, being proactive. Enterprising people take action and make changes before they need to be made, rather than waiting for a situation or problem to arise. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be proactive. And being proactive simply means you don't wait for a problem to arise before you find the solution. So when you don't allow a situation to get out of hand before you try to solve such situation. That makes you a successful entrepreneur. The third one, networking. For networking, we're simply talking about meeting new people and exchanging vital information. So the people you meet may be useful to you, your professional and social life. So as an entrepreneur, you must be willing to meet with different people, different stakeholders, and share ideas with them, because the ideas you share might be crucial to the success of your business. The next one, risk management. And when we talk about risk management, we're simply talking about the ability of an entrepreneur to be able to calculate his or her risk. So we're talking about that entrepreneurs can be exposed to commercial, physical, and financial risk. They must identify these risks and find ways to reduce the likelihood of the risk occurring. For example, the entrepreneur can reduce physical risk by installing fire alarms, commercial risk by increasing advertising to increase their market share, financial risk by taking out employees' investment insurance in case of employee theft. So, as an entrepreneur, you must be able to figure out how the risk you are taking will not, occur or bring about, a detriment to the organization. The next one, human relations, sorry. For human relations, these skills is used to build relationship with people and to bring out the best in them. Enterprising people use their human relations skills to persuade people to help them. So as an entrepreneur, you must have the ability to motivate, to persuade people for the better use of your business. That simply means, as an entrepreneur, you must find a way to motivate people for the cause of your business. And the last one here is realism. I want to talk about realism. As an entrepreneur, you must be objective. You must understand that things might go wrong. And when things go wrong, you must take action. You must make positive changes. You must not shy away from your responsibility as an entrepreneur. So these are the skills an entrepreneur must possess. So the next class we will talk about intrapreneurship.